Trust me, it's not a food fight, but it is a culinary battle for top dog at the annual Restaurant Awards. It means bragging rights as one of the top chefs of the year. The icing on the cake is that two of the nominees for Best Pastry Chef are here today with desserts. And Washington Full Circle starts right now. And welcome to Washington Full Circle. I'm Furman Patterson. Want to know why the annual Rammy Awards are such a big deal? It could be because DC's restaurant industry is a big deal. How about over $3 billion in projected sales in DC restaurants alone in 2016? That's worth an award any day. Anyway, we took our cameras downtown for a peek at this year's big nominations party. I'm in downtown Washington, across the street from the Hamilton, where tonight officially begins the countdown to the 2016 Rammy Awards, because in this building tonight are the nominations for the Best Chef, the Rising Culinary Star of the Year, and a bunch more.
The Rammys is very similar to the Grammys, and so basically it's like DC's night.
I mean, it's the Oscars of DC food, right? Everyone's a little upset, everyone's a little excited, and what is interesting is all these chefs are like, I don't care anyway, it's fine, I don't even want to be nominated. Did they get nominated? Did anybody find out I got nominated?
Got nominated for Everyday Casual Dining. We got some good competition against us, so it's going to be a fun little battle, but we're looking forward to it.
It is the night where we announce to the world here at the Hamilton the Rammy 2016 finalists.
It's the Academy Awards listing of the nominees, so it's people are excited.
We're nominated for Best New Restaurant, along with Jack Rose Dining Saloon. We've been nominated for Best Beer Program.
We all know each other, it's a small group.
So there are 100 finalists who were announced tonight, and then we find out the winners at the Rammy Awards Gala, which is on June 12th at the Washington Convention Center.
Rammys 2016. Don't believe me, just watch.
According to her bio, this food columnist says she wants to eat her way through DC while still fitting in her pants. China Riddle writes about food, spirits, and other treats for the Hungry Lobbyist blog. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Now, is that true? You want to eat your way through DC?
Oh, most definitely. I've been known to go eat 3 cupcakes or so and then bike home to work it off, to make sure I do, in fact, fit in my pants.
Okay. Tell us about the Hungry Lobbyist. That's an unusual name.
Yes, so it started out, it was founded by a lobbyist, and he is hungry. He's an aspiring chef, very, very good one, and he works on K Street, and it started out, he was finding all the haunts for lobbyists to go to, or he had this thing called Lobbyist on the Run for good food trucks around downtown DC, but it grew rapidly, and it's expanded to a food, drink, lifestyle website for all Washingtonians, even those of us that are not lobbyists. So yeah, we do restaurant reviews, product reviews, and we give sneak peeks of new menus and stuff like that. It's a really, really great site.
Now, speaking of restaurants, DC is a restaurant city, so it seems there's plenty of places to see, plenty of chefs to write about, and you write about a lot of them.
Yes, I do. It's been fun. I just moved here last year, and the amount of restaurants has grown rapidly since I've been here. So there's always somewhere new to explore, always something new to uncover, and it's just been a really great time.
Now, as you know, this is the Rammy season.
Yes.
It starts with the nominations, like the video says, and then there are the big awards. So tell us, why is the Rammy so important here in DC, do you think?
The Rammys are important because it just highlights the excellence and the quality and the passion that can be found within our dining industry. It's amazing. And as viewers will see, the 2 segments that follow me, 2 amazing pastry chefs, so many great restaurants, and it's really great to see them get recognized for a year's worth of hard work.
Now, the big party, the big awards presentation is like the Academy. It's like the Grammys. It's a big deal. But tell us, what are you most looking forward to at this year's Rammys?
I'm just looking forward to seeing the whole food community, from chefs to the pastry chefs to the managers to food writers like myself, all come together and celebrate what we love eating. Food is what brings people together, and it's so fun to see everybody come together over that.
So you write about food so much. I wonder what's in your refrigerator?
What's in my refrigerator? It's actually not that exciting. I have a lot of fruit. I try to eat healthy when I'm home, so a lot of fruit and almond milk. Some local juices. I like to go to juiceries and try those types of things because I'm usually out eating very unhealthy, so I try to be healthy when I'm home.
What's been one of the most interesting restaurants or chefs that you've written about most recently?
Most interesting chef, I would have to say, was he was in Top Chef this past season, Chef Garrett Fleming at Barrel. He is a character. He's very interesting to talk to. He has some great dishes, and the interviews that I've done with him, I've done two, have been some of the most fun that I've been able to do. And then I recently also was able to do a private cocktail tasting with the team at Bourbon Steak, and head bartender Torrance Swain. He was just so fun to deal with, and it was such an interesting experience.
How did you actually start off writing? Was that something you always wanted to write about food?
Yes, so I started out just eating my way through DC when I moved here and documenting it on social media. And through various contacts, I came into contact with the Hungry Lobbyist, and then it came about that he would like me to start contributing to his site. And from there, a few other gigs have come about and some freelancing deals, and it's been fun. It's turned from a hobby into almost a part-time job.
Well, we'll have a part-time job eating some desserts coming up.
Yes.
Stay put. Two of the Rammy nominees for Best Pastry Chef of the Year are with us. But get this, the competition is so intense, we kept them in separate dressing rooms. No, I'm just kidding. One of the chefs is up next with treats when Washington Full Circle returns. And welcome back to Washington Full Circle. She's known for her delicious croissants, pralines, and cookies, and is director of all things baked and fried at the Bayou Bakery. 2016 Rammy nominee for Best Pastry Chef of the Year is Tressa Wild. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
But most of all, for bringing this. Because we talk about desserts, you got to have something in the studio.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, tell us about Bayou Bakery. Just what's it all about?
Well, we are all about New Orleans. Our chef and owner, David, he was born and raised in New Orleans, so we do a lot of fun local stuff from there, pralines, beignets, stuff like that. But we're a 7-day-a-week operation. We're open for brunch on Sundays. We have 2 locations, one in Arlington, one in Capitol Hill.
And I understand that also, besides these delicious desserts, you're all about cakes too. I saw a website, Cakes by Tressa. What's that?
Yeah. That's just my own personal thing I do on the side for friends, but we do incorporate it into Bayou Bakery as well. We do a lot of wedding cakes, specialty cakes, anniversary cakes, birthday cakes, stuff like that.
And I see, China, you've been staring at these.
I am too.
Desserts a big thing for you too?
Yes, I have a notorious sweet tooth, and I love Bayou Bakery. So I'm very excited to sample, especially the cruffin. Very excited.
Yeah.
Haven't had that yet.
Okay. So I do see something here. That's the cruffin there. Tell us what that's all about.
Our cruffin is our newest and greatest thing. It's a hybrid between a croissant and a muffin. We roll it in sugar, bake it, fill it with a cream cheese pastry cream, top it with a praline glaze, and toasted pecans on top.
Now, I understand that pastry chef wasn't always your career, but you fell into it how? Tell us how that began.
Well, I've been working in kitchens since I was 13. I didn't know growing up what fine dining was. I kind of lived like outside the city. I just wanted to do like cakes and cupcakes. I thought that that's what being a pastry chef was, until I got thrown into kitchens when I was 17 at 2941 in Falls Church, and I was just like blown away and realized you could be a pastry chef and realized what it was all about. So that's kind of how I got into it.
Okay.
Really.
I also read something about being handed a mango to cut. I didn't think you were around that age, a teenager, and you had no idea what it was even.
I had never seen a mango before. We always ate healthy and fruits and veggies and stuff like that growing up, but mangoes just wasn't a thing that we had where I was from. So, yeah, they handed me a mango and I didn't even know what it was, let alone how to cut it. Learned really quickly, obviously, and figured it out.
China, tell me, what does being nominated and winning a Rammy do for a chef, a pastry chef, or any chef?
It's just a testament to the quality and your talent and your passion as a chef. And once you win a Rammy, that's something that you carry with you for life. And when you're a food writer like myself and you see that they have won a Rammy in various awards, you think, yeah, this person's a major player. They definitely pack a punch when it comes to their craft.
It probably even brings more people into restaurants
Exactly.
to see why that chef was nominated. Yeah. All right. Well, as we talk, I'm just dying to try something here. I see this cheesecake. Did you want to try something?
If you don't mind.
Okay. Why don't you cut a piece of the cheesecake while we're talking? Now, how did it feel, Tressa, being nominated on that big night?
I didn't believe it, actually. It took a long while to set in, and then I was just completely humbled. To be in the same rankings as my fellow pastry chefs is just amazing. I would never think to be on par with all of them, but it's a great nominees, great accomplishment, you know?
Yeah. Now, I've been to the Rammy nominations and to the big Rammy Awards, and what strikes me is always such a big party scene. And I guess being in the restaurant industry, that comes with the territory.
We know how to party.
But how much did you party that night?
Oh my gosh, I think I just like de-stressed, actually. It's so nice when you work so hard to be recognized for what you do. So just to be recognized, it's kind of like a pat on the back, you know? So I celebrated by relaxing and, you know, kind of taking it all in and realizing what you do, they notice, you know? So that was like the best part, I think.
Yeah. Now, I joked about the tension in the air, but you know, you guys know each other. Most of the chefs in Washington, pastry chefs. You know our next guest that's coming up in the next segment. Is that true?
Well, yeah, we know each other through a few people. I've not been in to eat there yet, but I definitely will. But yeah, we all know each other through somebody, or we've eaten there, or we know somebody that works with somebody or whatever. So everybody is very talented and very deserving of the nominations.
Right. So tell us what else is on the menu at Bayou Bakery.
Well,
as I munch.
Yeah, go ahead. Our number one are our beignets, for sure. People come far and wide for our beignets. We make those from scratch every single day, multiple times a day. After that's our biscuits. We do from scratch biscuits every single day, open and close. Our newest thing is our cruffin. It's only available on Fridays. We put them out at 10 o'clock.
Which is delicious.
Yeah, it's really good. And yeah, we put those out at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we'll sell out in 20, 30, 40 minutes.
So, so what's inside? How is it made?
So it's like a croissant, but we roll it in sugar instead of flour. So it gets super caramelized and crispy. And we bake it, flip it out, and then we fill it with a cream cheese pastry cream, top it with a praline glaze, and toasted pecans on top. So it's like crunchy, sweet, crispy, tangy. The whole package.
You gotta try that. That's delicious.
Just bite into it, girl.
So how new is it?
The cruffin, it's about a month old now.
Okay.
1 month.
All right. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for sharing it with me.
Absolutely.
I'll try and go through that whole plate before the show's over. Our second nominee for Best Pastry Chef of the Year is up next. Stick around for more sweet treats when Washington Full Circle returns. welcome back to Washington Full Circle. He creates masterful desserts, loves baking bread, and even concocts amazing sorbets and gels for cocktails. 2016 Rammy nominee for Best Pastry Chef of the Year, Jamil Godot of Masseria by Nicholas Stefanelli. Thank you so much for stopping by.
It's a pleasure.
And right in front of me is one of your concoctions. Tell us what this delicious looking dessert is all about.
Yeah, so this is one of our new dishes. It's called the Rhubarb Barbaro. It's basically my ode to spring. Every year, every spring, rhubarb is basically the first really exciting thing to happen, and I love rhubarb so much. I love to prepare it in a couple different ways. In this dish, we have it prepared poached as well as macerated, so you get sort of a nice creamy texture from the poached fruit, and the macerated rhubarb, it's sliced thin, you get a nice crunch and freshness from it. So with the rhubarb, I've complemented that with a little bit of lemon mint puree, preserved lemon meringue, and rhubarb sorbet.
Now, you can't help noticing how nicely it's displayed or presented, and I know that's a big thing in the restaurant industry, is the presentation. I see some edible flowers here, is that it as well?
Yes, edible flowers. I mean, for me, especially with the level of pastry that you expect at a nicer fine dining restaurant in DC or anywhere you go these days, I think having edible flowers, they add a little bit something to the dish flavor-wise. For me, I always think of flowers and rhubarb together because rhubarb does very well with rose, with chamomile, all these different sort of elderflower is one of my favorites to sort of pair with rhubarb. So having the flowers on the plate is not just for looks. It's kind of like reinforcing the fact of the way that the floral essence and notes kind of go with rhubarb. It's amazing.
It looks fantastic. China, tell us, restaurants generally have a fantastic dinner menu, but how important are the desserts? It's sort of, most people think of it as an afterthought. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. But with pastry chefs being nominated, how important are desserts?
Well, to me, they're very, very important. It's one of my favorite parts of the meal. Some people may think of it as an afterthought, but for a lot of foodies, I think dessert is a time for pastry chefs to shine and for them to show their creativity. And it's a beautiful experience. I mean, look at this. It's beautiful, adorned with flowers, the shape of the sorbet. It just shows that the restaurant puts a lot of care and thought into the presentation, and he's done a fantastic job. I can't wait to dig in.
Well, I think we should dig in as we talk, and as we dig in, I just want you to explain again what I'm eating here. So first of all, this is the sorbet, and it is made of?
So that's the rhubarb sorbet, and what we've actually done is kind of infuse a little bit of tea into the simple syrup to make that kind of like give it a little bit of complexity. What I like to use the Berry Beauty tea from Teaism. It has a lot of berry and floral notes involved in there, and it's not a caffeine tea. It's just an infusion of, I want to say it's hibiscus and some of the other berries, dried berries. So it gives a nice complexity to the rhubarb sorbet, and it's amazing.
Now that's the thing, rhubarb, you don't hear that much in restaurants in DC, the use of rhubarb in desserts or otherwise. So why did you choose that?
I mean, honestly, as I said before, rhubarb is honestly one of my favorite ingredients for the spring. It's probably my favorite ingredient. I know we have berries coming out like a little bit later. They're going to get better and better, but it's something that really speaks to me, I guess.
So that night being nominated, find out you were nominated for Best Pastry Chef of the Year, what was your first thought?
Complete surprise, because I had no idea. That's interesting because we were there working the event, and earlier in that week, the chef had asked me to make sorbet because we were going to do one of our drinks there. The Pinot de Capri, which is Prosecco and sorbet. So I was like, yeah, sure. He's like, you want to come help scoop scoop sorbet? I was like, yes, I love working the events, and I've been to the nomination, you know, ceremony before, and I think it's great, you know. And I was literally in the middle of scooping a quenelle of sorbet and resetting them, and they're calling the nominees, and my name happened to be the first one, and I was just like stunned. I looked up like that, oh my gosh, look on my face, and I just made a beeline for the stage.
See what I mean?
Great.
It's just like the Rammys, the
Yeah.
Grammys and the Oscars and Emmys. It's that much excitement and surprise.
Yeah, it was great.
Now, as I continue to dig in, this here, the white part.
So that is a preserved lemon meringue. Preserved lemons are something you do in southern Italy as well as the north of Africa. They're preserved with salt, actually. So here, obviously, it doesn't taste really salty.
No, not at all.
It's still meringue. It's pleasant. It complements the dish. But so using that as an ingredient to make a nice puree, we have a puree of the preserved lemons as well as candied lemons to kind of balance that salt and sweet, and then that'll get folded into an Italian meringue and then baked until it's crisp.
So as I continue to sample this as a pastry chef, tell us what's in your refrigerator.
Not a lot of sweets, actually. There's a lot of, I like to experiment at home a lot with fermented foods, like, gosh, I make a lot of lacto-fermented pickles at home, hot sauce. I was doing kombucha for a while, ginger beer. My girlfriend always keeps like stocked with eggs and greens, and you know, I like to make soups and that when I'm at home on my days off.
Jack of all trades.
I really enjoy experimenting with that.
Well, thank you for letting me experiment with your desserts. I thank you both for being here. It's been a terrific show.
Absolutely.
That's it for Washington Full Circle. Thanks to our guests, and thanks to you for watching. We'll see you again next time.